welcome to Trial Run. I'm so glad that everyone is here today, and by everyone, it's all of you guys. Thank you for watching. I'm so happy to have you today. I have with me one of my coolest friends, Brandy Rose. Yay!
Hi,
Clap, 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 clap,
everybody.
clap.
Thank you. I love an introduction like that. That's so nice. Hello. Hi.
Today on Trial Run, what we're going to be doing is what we did last time. We're gonna have a little bit of chat between me and Brandy, and then while we're doing that, we're gonna be creating a character that Brandy is gonna be building completely all on their own with Neverending, with the Neverending app, which you can check out. The link is below. BeNeverending.app. And BeNeverending.app is such a great tool if you can't draw like myself, or you can't afford like maybe big art commissions, or you just want to give your character a little piece of artwork. It's great. It is still in what's the word? Beta. It is still in beta, so there's a lot of stuff still that needs improvement. And that's what we're doing. We're testing a lot of things, and it's such a great. I think it's such a great app. I love using it. I have I think 12, 15 characters now on it. Yep. But yes, before we start, Brandy, how are you today? How are you feeling right now?
I am sleepy as I usually am. But that never changes. But I'm good. I'm happy. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to chat with you. I always love working with my friends. And last time we got to do this, I was interviewing you.
Yes.
And I don't actually usually get to be interviewed because the ratio of me getting interviewed to me interviewing people will never even come close because of how many people I interview all the time. So it's always cool to be on the other side of things and just be the guest and not have to run the show.
Honestly, I am on the opposite side. I always get interviewed a lot, and I always tell people why are you interviewing me? Why?
You need to tell these people to interview me because I am interviewing people left and right all the time. It's how I meet everybody. I was in a panel yesterday. I knew everybody on the panel and none of them knew each other. And I was just like, hello, hi, hello. 4 of my closest friends and other people I've worked with. And I knew most of them because I got close to them because I interviewed them. I forget all the time, but Drac and I are friends at Draconics. We're friends because I interviewed him.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot the first time we talked is because I was fucking interviewing him. And it's the same with Lexi. We didn't talk ever before I interviewed Lexi, and then we were close friends. And I forget all the time, but all my closest friends, I interviewed them.
Yeah.
And then we became friends.
We met not because of an interview. We met because of a game show, which
to be fair, though, we met because I interviewed the guy who ran the game show.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we then did the game show, and then I was like, hey, do you want to play games? Because we need more people. And then you're like, sweet, yeah. And then
so nervous.
And then we what was our first interview about? Do you remember?
Trece.
No. The very first one. That one, we did
a D&D one.
Yes.
We talked about D&D because I initially, before I had Eat Crit, which is one of the shows on my network, before I did Eat Crit, what I do when I proof test the concept of a show is I kind of do the first rough outline of it in Cringe Warning because that's a show that crosses a lot of genres that I run. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, originally Eat Crit was called Demystifying D&D. And so we did a Demystifying D&D episode together on Cringe Warning, and from that I was able to be okay, concept of show works, needs to be fine-tuned, and then I edited it and I met Jess and I edited it and I changed it and that became Eat Crit. But that's right, the first time that we did an interview together we did Demystifying D&D with Glaiza.
Yes.
Yep. That's right. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
That was the very first time I think I got interviewed because of D&D. I got interviewed because of a lot of I have a podcast and all these things. For whatever reason, people like to hear me talk. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna switch sort of with I still do the podcasting thing. I'm still editing a lot of stuff. But when I made that switch, I feel like we both somehow at the same time were like, you know what? TTRPG, it might be a thing. And then, I remember when you first came out, as TTRPG, everyone was like, who?
I thought you meant like as trans, and I was like, yeah, that was a time.
Well, I mean, of course, whatever, but also,
but when I came out as someone when I came out into the scene, I came out because of you. I got into TTRPGs because of you, and everybody thinks that I've just been here forever, and I'm just like, I hadn't even played a TTRPG before, really. I'd like played Play by Post when I was a teenager, which like saying this on a public interview is so wild because it was like my dirty little secret my entire like young adult life, because I did that from like age barely 14 to like 19. I would be on these Play by Post forums, and when people asked me what my hobby was, I said writing. And they were like, what? I was like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't write anything.
I'm the same as you. I would participate in like Play by Post. I have a Tumblr out there that I will never admit to ever. I will never share, but it is about Marco from Animorphs, and I definitely played a lot, wrote a lot of stuff, and
I no longer have mine because I deleted it because I was unfortunately Tumblr famous very young, and it did not go well. So I deleted it.
I don't think I was ever Tumblr famous, but I was Tumblr slightly popular within a certain community. Within your
circle?
Within my circle. Like people
I just ended up being friends with this clique because there were always like the cliques of like these like famous Tumblr users that are all friends. And I just kind of like stumbled into one, and we're still friends. And like, I don't even remember how we became friends initially. It's because my blog was my personality. Like I didn't create content. I didn't do fandom stuff on there. I legit was just talking all the time. Way too much. And I posted selfies, and like my selfies are still like, if you knew my URL, which nobody ever will, you could still find screenshots of like viral posts of mine. Oh
my gosh.
And sometimes I see them on Instagram. On those like blogs where they like screenshots of Tumblr things, and it's my post, and I'm just like,
I think
never will anybody know. And pictures of me are still up there as well. But I look so different. I hope I look so different. Nobody knows.
I think everybody, honestly, like everybody that I know in the TTRPG space so far that I've talked to has this little like, I want to say secret, like fanfic writing. Like they all started telling stories as kids.
My AO3 account is in my card.
I have an AO3 account.
It's right there.
I have an AO3 account as well. And I write Sherlock stuff, I write Buffy stuff, and Psych stuff. You're never going to find it because I'm never going to link it. But it's there. And if you find it.
I put it up there. But the thing is, despite, like, I put it up there. And it says AO3 in my writing. And it's got its own little box on my card, just like everything else does. It's just at the bottom. Nobody knows. People do not realize. I mentioned it like the other day on like a recording session. I was hanging out with Christian because we're wrapping up production on To Be Movie or Not to Be Movie, like our newest show on the podcast network. And it's just gonna come out in June, which I'm really excited about. We're almost done. And we just hung out this weekend instead of filming. And I mentioned that I had that, and like I realized that like I would have rather died as a teenager than copped to having like a fan fiction account. But I hadn't written fan fiction. I didn't write fan fiction as a kid, really. I didn't write it that much. I wrote it a little bit, but it was always with my friends. It was never like me myself sitting down and writing a story. Usually it was me and my friends RPing our characters on Skype and then copy pasting it into a document and posting it to like fanfiction.net. But like I didn't do that as a hobby. Like if I wrote fan fiction, it was like, yeah, I wrote that and I'm not going to post it ever.
Yeah.
And so I didn't start writing fan fiction until like last year summer, because I was really sick in 2021 and I was like bedridden and in the hospital, and I couldn't do anything else all day long. I couldn't do anything. So I just had like an idea for fanfic, and it just blew up and took over. And I looked recently and I have had like 80,000 clicks on my profile. And I'm like, I forgot how much people like my shit. I just write fucking My Hero Academia.
Well, My Hero Academia is really popular. Like even to this day, like I haven't written anything in decades. Like I want to say like a long time. Like I'm 30 something now. 20 years I haven't written anything. And I would still get a random, hey, somebody left a kudos on your thing. And I'm like, oh, and then I would go back and click on it and I would read it and I'm like, oh, I could improve on this. I could write better now. But it still makes me feel nice that people are still reading it. Like I don't have to like share it and people are finding it.
Comments because initially before it was too many, because now it's too many comments for me to be able to like screenshot all of them that are like that make my heart really warm, which is really nice because like what a problem to have. But like in the beginning, so like last summer, because like I get people sometimes that will leave me like this long comments where they pull all their favorite moments out and talk about them, and I'm like, I would give you my firstborn child. That's how happy you make me, that you care this much about my work and like that you follow like the like long, because like I have one out now that like if it were a book it'd be this thick.
Nice.
And it's my baby and I love it so much and I love that people love it. And I have some of the initial like comments printed out on my like little anti-anxiety board. And if I feel sad, I like read them again. And I think it's really sweet. I like how much that was able to translate to TTRPGs. I just like telling stories.
Honestly, that's so I've always been a writer. Like I've always wanted to write. And that is what makes TTRPG for me so beautiful, because you are basically writing this story with so many people, and even if you're a GM, even if you're just a player, you're still doing all of these things, and it must be really great to hear like your games being used to tell these stories. Tell me about the games that you tell me about. One, your favorite. Well, I don't know if iSpy is your favorite game, but tell me about your favorite game that's not iSpy and why you like it so much.
Honestly, my favorite game that isn't iSpy has become it's really hard because there's I guess I could narrow it down to two games that are the most important to me.
Okay.
And one of the most important ones to me is Euphoria, which is not a TTRPG. It's a game. It's a gender euphoria or gender envy bingo is what I call it, like affectionately. And I made it in less than 2 hours. I like had the idea. I don't know, the spirit of TTRPG possessed me and I like blacked out. And then I had this game and I did it for the Gender Jam because I saw that. And I saw that it was supposed to center trans joy. And I have always been I don't like that every time we get to talk about gender envy, it's like morose. Right. You know, it's like, I wish I can't look like that. I don't look like that. And the dysphoria and like the suffering and the tragedy, etc. And I was like, no, I take a lot of joy in being trans. And like a part of like figuring myself out, and it's a continuous thing, is like, I used to go on PixArt and just search characters that gave me gender envy and like just kind of put them all together like some sort of deranged mood board. Yeah. And I would just stare at them, trying to figure out what they had in common. And to see if I could learn something about myself from like putting them all together. And it was a really healthy thing to do. And it was something that like I shared with my like close friends and I would talk about with them, and then they would do it too. And then we would have really great, happy discussions about like, oh, I see that for you. That makes such sense for you. And it's extremely like validating. And when I first came out as trans for the first time ever, I came out to my friend Kate, and Kate is also non-binary. And that was how we started that discussion, is we started by sharing who we had gender envy for. And that turned into a discussion of like, I'm trans. And immediately that was met with like straight up joy and like understanding and validation. And it couldn't have possibly gone better. I couldn't have wished for a better conversation for that to be. And then immediately I was like, I must tell everyone. So I did. I wanted to create something that would facilitate that conversation for people. Right. And I wanted to create something that people could play. Ideally also teens and like young people could play and use it to either like they could create a conversation with their peers where like maybe it helps them explain something, makes people understand better. Maybe it's a thing that they could play with their family to explore also that like there's many different ways to engage with gender. And even if you're cis, you can still play this game.
Right.
You just obviously you won't have envy for anybody like aesthetically that isn't your gender, but like because gender envy is a uniquely trans experience, but you can still understand the concept of the game and you can still play it together, and that can help facilitate some conversations, that can help make it like a happy thing to do with your family. It's a good way to get to know each other better. And then I also wanted it to be something primarily that trans people can play with other trans people and have fun and take joy from this uniquely trans experience that is creating joy specifically because it's trans. And that was like the whole point of Euphoria, which is what you say when you get a bingo. So basically you make a sheet, you got your, like you choose media to take from, you kind of narrow it down. Like what I did when I played it with Drac on my channel on my Twitch is like, I was like, okay, this is the anime list that I picked from. And Drac was like, this is the anime list for me. And what I would do is like, so we both had like My Hero Academia down there. And I'd look at Drac, who's like a very close friend of mine. And I was like, Kirishima. And he went, no. And I was like, damn. And then he looked at me and he went, Bakugo. And I went, no. Ha. And he was like, what? And those are great conversations. Also, what somebody once said is they rate games based on how much like social devastation they can cause.
Yeah.
Because Drac would also looked at me and was like, Shigaraki. And I was like, Shigaraki? Busty, dusty, crusty Shigaraki? But wow. And that was karma, because when I first played that game with somebody, the first person I ever played it with was my best friend Liv. And I didn't know if I couldn't remember if Liv had seen Death Note, and we hadn't told each other what anime we used because it was still like beta testing the game.
Yeah.
And I just looked at her and I was like, I was running out of characters to guess. I like couldn't remember anything, and I was just like, not to say that you do, not to say that you do have gender envy for this character. It's a guess, and I'm just saying, if you did, I would respect it, because a lot of people do. I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying if you did. And she was just like, say it. And the reason I said it is because her MBTI, which she hates her MBTI type. And I know that this character has the same MBTI, and she hates that. She hates it so much. She's like, why? We have nothing of why. And I was like, so is it like light Yagami? And she was like, light Yagami. And she was like, I think you just added another layer to my PTSD. Like, I think you just traumatized. I think that's a hate crime. And like, she has held that over my head since we played it. And I think that it's a really great social game, but also very important and interesting about Euphoria. Euphoria is the first game that was funded because the University College of London, their gender studies department was hosting the jam, and they loved the game so much. They paid me for having made it. And then they paid me to develop like tests, to play test it, to film the play test with me and Livia.
Nice.
And they use it in the gender studies department, and they use the game in their gender studies department as well.
That is so cool.
Then a lot of organizations, because it was also in the trans bundle, the big Texas trans bundle. So a lot of organizations, a lot of therapists, a lot of youth groups, and a lot of universities have told me since then that they use the game in their groups, that they use it in their like clubs, that they've played it with their friends. Like somebody left me a comment on Itch that was like, this made it an amazing afternoon with my friends. And that's exactly what I wanted from that game. So that's one game that is insanely important to me, specifically for that reason, because it did exactly what I wanted it to do. And it facilitated like all of these conversations with families, and it facilitated all of these moments of joy. And I mean, when I played it with Drac, it was hysterical. We've had many in-jokes since playing it together. And the more people you have, the funnier it is. Because it's kind of like gender envy bingo battleship. Yeah. Because you have to try and guess what the other person has. And if you get them in a row, then they have to
Euphoria.
They say Euphoria, and you win because you like sunk
their gender envy.
The analogy like breaks down really quickly, but that's the mechanic of the game, and it's so fun, and I love that game so much. And I guess the other one is Verhex nochmal, which in hindsight I could have titled Curses. It means the same thing. But like when I was making it, the pun only worked in German, and I didn't know how to say it in English, so I just made it that. I was like, fuck it. And now I have to contend with the fact that nobody knows how to pronounce it at all. But it's my most successful game. It's that game one time, that game only once, paid my rent once. That's how many people bought that game. And that means so much to me. And it's the game that I see people play the most. And it's the game that people have, and it's the first game that I published, the first TTRPG that I'd ever published. And so it was really nice to hit it at the park from, first strike. I don't play sports, but as you can tell. But like to hear from people that they do play this game as families, and like right now I think at Gen Con actually, somebody's going to be running my game for families and for kids. And that like as a way to like introduce families and kids to TTRPGs, and they're like buying a copy for everyone that they have in the test and everything, which is going to be really nice. But like I designed Verhex nochmal because I've had an anxiety disorder my whole life. Mm-hmm. I don't remember not having anxiety. I don't remember not dealing with anxiety attacks and nightmares and night terrors, etc. And so when I was really little, I was really obsessed with like Candyland, like obsessed. I did not play. The reason, like Jess has told me, so from Utopia, Burst of Hope has told me that the reason I like Candyland is because I don't actually play Candyland. I played Candyland like it was an RPG. Like I like the setting so much. I like the characters and I love the set design and all of it. And I would make up stories in my head as I was playing it. And the Candyland, or what I called it as a kid, La La Land, is basically this like floating little kingdom on cotton candy clouds. And if I had a nightmare or if I had a panic attack, what I would do is I would make up more settings and I would make up stories in the settings and characters. And I'd be like, there is an ice cream queen who lives on these mountains of ice cream, and you can like sled down them, and there's like a little chocolate like hot fudge river, and I would come up with all of these details, and it keeps your mind so busy that you stop panicking because you're so focused on this happy, no stress world. And I was just like, I kind of want to make something in homage to that, and to like the fact that I grew up with a lot of like witchcraft stuff, witch stories and magic. And so I wanted to put those together. And I love cats, but I'm sadly very allergic to animals. Yeah. So I was like, what if you played as like, which is familiar, like a cat? And like there's different types of witchcraft. So I was like, each can have its own like archetype of cat. And you get to play in like, maybe you play in a brownstone. Maybe you play in this fantastical like Candyland world. Maybe like it doesn't matter. Like there's proposed settings, which I specifically put in the game to show people how to make a setting, right? So they can make their own if they want to. And then each setting like the game has its own like event table of like things that happen. So basically with Verhex nochmal, like you roll the dice, like the jam rolls, to see what the disaster is, and that like you give or you lose stress, and you kind of go through it as your little specific like witch magical cat. And you get to go through these cute little cat adventures with your friends. And you get to like, it's very whimsical and like wackadoodle and cute. I mean, sure, you could make it intense, but like if you want a really intense game, it's probably not the game for you. Yeah. But it would work if you wanted to, because I designed it to be really adaptable. But like I designed this because I was like, TTRPG is a way to do storytelling. So like in my mind, obviously you can play this with friends, and I've run this for many adults. But I wanted a game that was newbie friendly mechanic wise, but like not boring to people that like play often. And I wanted this to be a game that like I could imagine playing this with my kid casually, because the system is so uncrunchy. The system is creamy. Ew. The system is smooth. I was thinking peanut butter.
Yeah, smooth.
The system is smooth.
The system and like smooth.
The system is very smooth, and basically you can do this on the fly. You can play this game in small doses on the fly. Like if you've played this game with your kid before and your kid's having trouble falling asleep like I used to, or they had a nightmare, you could pick in your head real quick, like you could pick a disaster scenario. You could grab the one like D6 that everybody has. That's the only dice that the game needs, and you can create stories. Or if you've played it before, you can be like, hey, remember how Apollo, like the love witch cat, do you remember how we like did that? Like what would Apollo do if like we got transported into this cotton candy dimension again? What would they do? And like you could extrapolate on the stories really, really easily. And it would just be, it's just like, it's cute. The stories you tell are cute. They're unique, they're funny. And I just wanted this to be a game that people could use to create memories with their family and with their friends. And that's kind of what I want from all games. But for this one, I was very specifically thinking like I would really like this to be a way for people to share this type of storytelling with their family and with their kids. Because there's not that many TTRPGs out there for kids, and like for kids of potentially like wide ranges of ages.
Right.
Because there's a lot of ways to play this game. Like if you're 6, you might like this game. If you're 4, you might like this game with your family. If you're 10, you probably still like this game with your family, unless you're like too cool, in which case, my bad. But you can still be a cool cat. Because like you could play as Godzilla. Godzilla, the Chaos Witch cat that like straight up has a lizard leg.
Yeah.
I'm not 10 anymore, but I think that's cool.
I think that's cool. Honestly, these 2 games, I actually put it in chat. Actually, I put cutestpatoot.itch.io in chat, Euphoria, but it won't let me paste Verhek Normal, which is, it'll be there. I'll send it out again.
They're all there.
Yeah. Visit Cutest Patoot. These are all really affordable games, and they're really, really fun. It's really cool for you to tell me all of these games, because it's funny because when I'm playing with other people, they would say, "Oh, have you heard of this game, Verhek Normal?" And I was like, yes, I have heard of this game very much. Do you know who created that game? And a part of me is like, yeah, they're my good friend. But then another part of me is like, don't name drop. Don't
name drop me always. That is so funny. I've had that happen where like Jeremy, Hark Morper, Jeremy texted me that they volunteer at like a youth queer youth group thing. And the group plays TTRPGs usually, and they had purchased the trans bundle, the TTRPG bundle, just because it blew up. We made millions of dollars for it, and that was amazing. Good. And like I think it made like 400 or 4. It was an insane amount of money.
I was just looking at it, and I was just like, that is awesome.
It was amazing. So it hit so many people. So like people would hear about it that had nothing to do with us, nothing to do with the organizers, nothing to do with our community. And that's really amazing. Actually, the person I'm dating also picked it up, which is really cute. Nice. And so they said their GM couldn't make the meeting. And so when Jeremy walked in, they were playing Euphoria. And they were like loving it. They were like, wow, I didn't have like the words for this when I was younger. I thought that those were crushes, but they weren't crushes. They were gender envy. And I'm just like, I'm so happy. Because like here's like what I've always said of like why I'm an entertainer, broad term, game designer, why I create streaming assets, why I produce APs, why I perform, why I act, why I sing, why I make everything that I make, is because like I'm not saving lives. I'm not, I can't do blood. It icks me out. I'm physically disabled. I'm not about to be a firefighter. I'm not doing open heart surgery. I can't do anything like that. I've never, I always knew like that's not me, but I am really creative and I need to be an entertainer or I'll combust. Which I think is the only way you like stay in entertainment is if you like compulsively need to be here. And like, but I can do this. I can make things to make people have these great moments. I can make things that become like comfort memories for people, or like make shows that become part of their like morning routine. Yeah. Like one of my best friends, it's also her birthday. Happy birthday, Elise.
Happy birthday.
And I know that Elise listens to Cringe Warning and Eat Crit. Even and even though Elise is not in like a pro like TTRPG player, like she plays D&D and everything, and like she listens to my shows. She listens to everything that I make because she's such a lovely person. I love her so much. She listens to everything I make. And I know that she usually listens to them when the podcasts are running and not in hiatus in the morning when she gets ready. And she will force her parents to listen to them sometimes. And so that means that like for her, the podcasts and like my shows that I make are part of her morning routine. Yeah. A lot of the time. And like one time I also I got to scare them by like mentioning her on a recording, and then they listened to it and her parents were like, "Is that you?" And I was like, "Yes." And it's just when you make stuff, which is like, it's always been a thing about like when people talk about the weird intimate relationship, like parasocial relationship people have with TV actors versus movie actors. And it's because TV actors are in your home. Yeah. Like when people have a special connection to a TV show, it's because this was part of your routine. This was what you watched in the morning. This is what you watched Thursday nights with your dad. Like this is what you watched with your college buddies for years. Yeah. And like, or for a very long time, and like a show that's followed you through many stages of your life. And so the actors become very important to you because the characters are really important to you. Yeah. And all I can do is make stuff and hope it is important to somebody, or hope that it makes somebody laugh when they had a really shitty day. Those are my favorite comments to get on AO3. Yes. When people tell me I had a horrible fucking day, like it has been the worst day of my life, but this, like I laughed nonstop reading this, or like this made me feel a lot better, or like this was like a big hug, or like this was really comforting, or like this was really validating. Where like the representation in your like fix was really validating, and it's just like that feedback is the best thing I could possibly hear. So when I hear that like people are playing Euphoria and it's making people like, it's giving teens this moment of like, I didn't have a word for this, I didn't understand this, but now I do, and like that's really cool, and it's something that they associate with fun and with acceptance and like with their friends. That's really important to me.
And honestly, there should be a lot more stories about trans joy, about that kind of thing, because we're so inundated with like a lot of sad, heavy things already. And personally, that's why whenever I play, I always lean towards the laughter, the chaos, the funny things, just because I feel like at the end of the day, not to look down on like drama and all of that, but at the end of the day, sometimes people want to laugh, people want to have a good time. And your stories, your games, it's so amazing that you're bringing such joy to people who are normally not given that sort of joy. So I'm very, very happy about that. Having said that, we are going to go and talk about your most current game. And while we're doing that, just, we're going to go and create a character that we're going to be playing later. I'm going to go ahead and switch us over to the character making part.
Yes.
If it'll show our faces, which it should, because I have OBS up, but it won't, which is weird.
No worries.
There we go. We are there now.
Pretty
our
faces
are there. Yeah. But yes. So, we're going to go ahead and create a character. And while we're doing that, I'm going to talk to you about iSpy.
Yes.
Tell me, what was it that, what gave you that aha moment that you're like, all right, that's it. I have to make iSpy. This is my
Lexi.
aha moment. Oh, okay.
Lexi. I was actually helping Lexi. I was consulting Lexi. So I want to say like 4 a.m. Like, so Lexi is at Black Girl Mage, Lexi McQueen. At about 4 a.m, Lexi texted me. I had an idea for a game, and then a bunch of screenshots of a Word document of what became No Bump of the Night. And I was so Lexi's an EST. So it was 4 a.m. for me. It was like 6 a.m. for Lexi, and I was just like, you need to go the fuck to sleep, first of all. Second of all, I love you. I love this. Yes, I will give you feedback on it tomorrow. But until then, I need you to go to bed. And we talked about the game the next day, and we were co-working, we were hanging out, and I was like helping look over the game book and stuff, because I'd done a lot of games at the time, like already. And I was like, I can help. I can support, I can like help guide, and I can help answer questions, and I can help you make like the decisions if you can't decide like what to do with it. Then like we can go into like detail. And I was helping, and we were just gabbing, and we were talking about how I was writing something. I was writing something for like I was writing fanfic that was like in a spy kind of a like heist AU. And I remember that I was just like, what would be cool? A like spy game. Oops, I clicked on the wrong thing.
I don't know why. If you see the upgrade now, go ahead and just upgrade. I'll fix it. Like, you should be able to access. So if you go at the very top, where it says 7, yeah, just go ahead and do that. It's fine.
Okay. What am I supposed to click? This one?
Let's do the annually. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh,
it's asking
probably
for
don't
stuff.
want to do that.
Let's not do that right now.
Thing? No.
While
we're at it, let's also tell everybody your social security code. Also, I realized I didn't click the right body stuff anyway, so we still have stuff to do.
It's okay.
But what I was thinking, so I was chatting to Lexi about I was just thinking like it would be cool to have a spy game, because like Lexi and I were both big Spy Kids fans growing up. Spy Kids, Charlie's Angels,
Kids.
all of it. It meant everything to us. We wanted to be spies so bad, so bad. And there was nothing we wanted more. And it was very cool to like find out that we both had the same like obsession. So like I used to like if we went to the Scholastic book fair,
Right.
then like I used to get like how to be a spy. And like because this was also very trendy at the time as well. To like be like into being a spy. And I was very here for it. And I was like, man, I really missed like that actual like one physical book I was thinking of. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I think it was called How to Be a Spy. I actually found it on a stream, but I can't remember it anymore. So I remember being like, wow, I remember what that looked like. And it was like black. It was like black and it was on like spiral things. So it was like a real handbook. And it basically like it had like this like blue neon like grid design, and it used to have like these like little gear things that would pop up on the side that like spy tip, and it was just like little things about like how to disguise yourself, and it was very much for kids. Like it was very clearly for children, and I was just like I was obsessed with it immediately. I was totally obsessed with it. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I wanted to play with it, and I started thinking like, what would the system need to look like for people to be able to play whatever they want? And that took a while. Designing the mechanics for iSpy took a really long time because it was so hard trying to make sure that it was adaptable in like every conceivable way. And I just was like, okay, well, it has to be flexible, but it still has to have enough stuff that like, cause like my thing is newbies don't know where to start. That's like,
right.
The big thing is newbies don't know where to start, and that's okay. You don't have to. But it does mean that like when you're designing it, you've got to like make sure that it has enough information that they don't get like overwhelmed with trying to decide their own shit. Right. So I ended up designing iSpy's bare bones stuff within a few days, and then spent the rest of the time flexing out the mechanics and then designing the game book. But yeah, I made it because I grew up with that stuff. I still love it. I've seen Ocean's 11 because I love a spy movie and a heist movie. Those are my favorite things, and they go hand in hand a lot of the time.
They always do. They almost always do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just love it like a lot. And I was just like, okay, well, I've seen Ocean's 11 approximately 80 billion times. I actually watched Ocean's 11 last week, and I said every word, every fucking word, every word. I was only wrong twice. It was kind of insane. It was very wild. I was like, wow, I really need to watch other shit. But
do you though? Do you really?
I mean, maybe.
Do you? I've
also seen the Charlie's Angels movies like 80 times. So
and it's worth it.
It is worth it, and like you can't improve upon it. I haven't seen the new one.
I haven't seen the new one,
but I'm like.
I haven't seen the new one. Yeah. I don't know if I will, but maybe eventually. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
So you're looking right now at Never Ending's art stuff. I'm supposed to have access to like, all of the stuff. But like I said, this is beta stuff, right. And you do get access to a lot of ears and stuff. You build them from scratch, which I think is great. And what I love about Never Ending's stuff is that they have really a lot of freedom when it comes to body types. You're not stuck with just the one body type. You could do a lot more with it, but it's not as heavy as Hero Forge. And Hero Forge I love Hero Forge as another free option, but what I really like about with Never Ending is that it's just, and it's continually improving. There's a lot more that'll come out. So, I just really like it. So another question that I have, I know you've been working on what we would call hacks of your own game.
Yes, I have.
And I remember one of those hacks came out because I was tweeting something on the internet, and I said, I really want to play this game. And you're like, Glaiza, I have a solution for you. And would you mind just telling me about all the hacks that you are working tirelessly on when it comes to iSpy?
So the really fun thing about iSpy is that because I designed it specifically to be so flexible, you don't actually have to ever hack the game, because you don't actually have to change anything except like the base filler copy for most things, because it's already designed to work with a billion different things. So you had said you really wanted an Artemis Fowl TTRPG.
I did.
And I was like, bet. I got you. And I did have you. So basically, I like looked at it, and I did this on a live stream as well. The VOD has been lost forever because I forgot to export it. I'm so sorry. But basically, what it is that you said that tweet, and I was just like, In iSpy, there's archetypes. There's 5 archetypes of like different like pre-generated like character classes that you can play. Just to like give you like tropes. That could easily be like the kid genius type.
Yeah.
The Holly type, the like, leprechaun agent, butler.
Yeah.
Or like a butler. So like somebody in the butler family. Like Juliet or like butler. Like mole. There's like, you could be like a centaur. There's enough mythical creatures and
there's
like
a lot that
character
you could just
types in Artemis Fowl. So like that's the archetypes. The gadgets, you just supplement, like instead of being like a compact that's also a laser, you could like just use gadgets that are within the Artemis Fowl universe. It's really easy to supplement those. And then the enemies, there's so many enemies in these books.
There are, yeah.
You could do anybody. You could like enemy type that's like a fairy. So all you had to do was switch out the names of things, and the game is identical.
Yeah.
So I created a game book already. It took me a very long time to design the game book for that one because I wanted it to look like the first, like the paperback version of the first book.
Gold and
stuff. So yeah, it's beautiful, and I think it's if I may say so myself, I think it's beautiful, and I really, really like it, and I'm very proud of it. And I can't wait for people to be able to play it. Although right now, because Artemis Fowl is a relatively active, piece of protected material, basically, it's not out specifically because like I would get sued so hard, so fast by that mouse.
Yep.
I would have never seen it coming. Oh, it would kill me. The mouse would come for me, come for my family, come for my dog that I no longer have, would come for the cats that live outside my apartment. So right now it's something that like, it's kind of a gift to you. You're going to get it. And then if I make a copy of the game book, so you get the one that's Artemis Fowl that's branded, that would make me go bankrupt. And then I will make a version of it that is not branded, but like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, very similar. And I might release that.
Artemis
I mean, if I release it for free, I'm allowed to do it, I think.
I think like Artemis Fowl inspired. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like
as long as I'm like very much unofficial, inspired by blah 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 blah. Then like you can have that. I don't know if it's possible to take the branding elements out entirely, so I will wait and see. But in general, it shouldn't be too hard. But then there's the one that is closest, nearest, dearest to my heart. Lexi again had tweeted, where the fuck is my Kids Next Door TTRPG? And I remember being like, man, if only somebody had a spy. You have a spy game. You have a spy game. It just came out. It just came out, and it works perfectly. And I already made so I'm also going to be making a streaming kit for the Artemis Fowl one because I know you and I are going to want to play it and show it off.
Of course.
And you can't get sued for that. So I'll have the streaming kit done as well. And then for this one, I actually already have a full streaming kit based off of the streaming kits that I designed for iSpy already for Kids Next Door. And that one, I'm actually currently waiting to hear back from a copyright lawyer so that I can see about acquiring the license for Kids Next Door so that I can officially like release it in partnership with the people that own Kids Next Door as an official game.
Spoilers. I've already, well, it's not really spoilers. I'm not showing you
you've
anything.
already seen it.
I've seen it, and it looks great. It looks fantastic. By the way, did you guys all know that Brandy also does streaming kit commissions, which you can go to their coffee. I'll share their link later, but you can go to their coffee and get for the criminally low price of $180, I think. Or no, 180 for like really good things. I'm going to show you later a streaming kit for iSpy, and you're going to be like, this costs 180.
They are huge, and they take me a very long time.
They are huge. They are great, and they need to be paid more. So if you're looking for streaming kits, go ahead and let me actually put that out there. Your Ko-fi, which I am just gonna grab.
You. Yes. Ko-fi.com, I think, /cutestpatoot. Also, I think that is 180 the cheapest one? Because I think I do.
No, 180 is your most expensive one, and that's why I'm saying that it is
Good.
criminally low.
I do have lower ones for like smaller sized kits, or like if you're like a Twitch streamer and you don't need like a full like AP kit and you just want like a Twitch stream kit, you can get like the smaller one or something if you don't need that many panels. I also do game book design as well, because a lot of people have like really like they have really cool games, but like they don't know how to make pretty game books, and I'm very good at making pretty game books. So I also do game book commissions as well. So if you've got like a Word document, or like you've got like a preliminary like PDF thing, I can help you make it into like a nice pretty game book.
Yes. Go ahead and look at it. There's so many things that you can.
Oh my god, you reached your character limit, dude.
Oh, go ahead and just delete one of them. I feel like if you save it first, go to the bottom.
Oh, it won't let me save. It says you hit your character limit.
Oh no.
But that's okay, because I mean I'm still building the stage.
Let me actually go to. Don't worry about it. Ooh, I'll do it.
It's all futuristic.
Don't go anywhere. I will.
No worries.
Delete the stuff for you.
Ooh. I like all these backgrounds that they have.
Let's see. Yeah, I love all of the backgrounds that they have, and they're coming up with like newer stuff all the time, which is super cool. Whoa.
Ow.
Delete this. All right. Go ahead and save your character now if you're able to.
Oof, I think it won't let me save, but do we have to save?
If you wanted to keep it.
No, it's okay. I know how to make her again. I will be playing with this more and more often as well on my own account.
Also, if you refresh right now, you should get the thing removed where it says, you don't have the.
Well, for everybody, just in case when I refresh it goes away. But this is Cherry. This is our agent for today.
Yay, she's so pretty.
Thank you. Buff.
Let's see. Did it?
Okay, we saved her.
Did it lose the thing at the top? No.
It didn't, and it still says you've reached your character limit.
Which is really weird.
It is really weird. But it's okay because now everybody can see it full screen.
Yeah.
There's our tactical baddie.
All right. So, is there anything else you want to say about iSpy before we start getting into our little story?
So, we did make a pretty character person. But the character creator, quote unquote, like in iSpy, the like mechanics are very simple. You just pick an archetype, and it'll give you the option, like you give two gadgets that fit into the archetype. You could take some of the pre-made ones. The cool thing about iSpy is that I did all of the work for you, but in a way where you don't have to use any of it if you don't want to. You can replace or completely freestyle everything you want. The game itself also comes with 9 quick starts, because I came up with 3 quick starts for different scenarios. So 3 quick starts for a one-shot for the game, 3 quick starts for a mid-length miniseries, and 3 for an ongoing campaign. So the really cool thing is quick start is basically like it gives you like a number of characters, different archetypes. It gives you a villain. It gives you a story. It's basically like the base premise of a session that it just gives you, or like of a campaign or of a miniseries that you can just take and run with. And you can adapt it to anything. I actually recently did a stream that I'm also going to be running. So I GM professionally on Start Playing. And what I'm really excited, what I'm going to be offering soon, once I like finish the graphics and stuff and the outline for it, I'm going to be offering Spy X family themed one-shots. Because iSpy works perfectly with a lot of different IP. And adapting IP is my specialty. So hire me. But also, I showed everybody on stream how easy it would be to do Spy X Family campaign miniseries one shot with iSpy, because there's a class on iSpy, like an archetype called the 00 something. So that's your classic spy. That's Lloyd. There you go. I have an archetype called Fallen Angel. That's very much like the darker version of a Charlie's Angel, very much based on like Demi Moore from Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. That's like your assassin type. That's your. And then there's Agent Bubblegum, which is kind of a mixed mashup of like your Charlie's Angels, your spy kids, like your totally spies, your teen to like very young, bubblegum like spy. And that could be Anya.
Yeah. It would
and then
work
you
so
can
well.
You can do all of the gadgets. You can exchange them for things that are in the anime or anime appropriate. You can like the dog. Like I also have written down like if you have a service dog or if you have a wheelchair, your character can have those as well. I have a wheelchair. My character could have one as well if I wanted to. And you could trick it out as a spy thing, and then it would count as one of your gadgets. Or the dog that's there that like it's not stupid. Could be like Anya's, like one of Anya's quote unquote gadgets that you can interact with in the game. And instead of like the treacherous villains or whatever that I've pre-made, you can just like replace that with literally any scenario. You can play any episode of Spy X Family with the system of iSpy. So I'm going to be offering Spy X Family themed one shots on Start Playing very, very soon. I should have those up this week. But yeah, that's iSpy.
That's really exciting. I'm going to put that Start Playing link if I can find it, which I should be able to.
It's in
the chat.
Card at the top.
It's in your card. Okay.
Yep. I put the little blue hat.
Ooh.
And currently right now on my Start Playing, I have some sessions for the first few days of June because I work a lot with Roll. And we have a show together, Kill Screen. And I also will be jamming the game system that they created, Chrome. So Chrome is just like a TTRPG, and I will be running that game for anybody interested in it. I have some set sessions, and they're at a lower rate. Usually, my rate starts at like $18 per person, which I promptly got yelled at by many people that it should be much higher. And I'm just
it should be much higher.
I know, but a lot of people don't have much more money. So I was just like, okay, let's start here and I will raise it accordingly. Like if I get swamped, then I'll be like, okay, I have to have my prices. But like, until I get swamped, we'll climb our way up. But I am running those games at a discount. So for the first few days of June, there's 2 sessions open for 4 players each, I think, or for 5 max, where you can get in for $15 per person.
Awesome. And I've linked the Start Playing games at the bottom, so you can click on it if you want Brandy to be your GM, which I cannot stress enough. You would love them as your GM. But now we are going to go on a short break. And while we're waiting on that short break, why don't you pay attention to this really, really nice starting soon screen of iSpy while we prep and get ready. See you soon.
amplifying this villain until they become a problem that you have to deal with. And that is where the villain archetypes of the game come in. So Tlaloc, just a Tlaloc alert is basically what happens at the beginning of iSpy and how the missions start. Tlaloc has activated somebody. They have been amplifying somebody or funding somebody's activities to the point where they are now a problem that you have to take care of. Okay, so what you just saw would have been the screen where after the Tlaloc alert, the GM gets their own screen to basically be like communicating with their agents visually of they pop up on their screen, or in this case, Charlie would arrive and would present the mission to the team. No worries. Oh, I hope so. We have a thumbs up originally, so I don't know if we have a thumbs up now. Oh, they cannot. Mm. Okay, let's see. Okay, hi, hello. Hi, hello. Let us know if the audio tracks are working. See, this is why I don't use OBS. It scares me and it's complicated. Me too. And that's why my show that I recorded in OBS is still being edited 6 months later. Aw. Let's see.
This one should just have me in it, and it should have all of us. So we are back on just the normal screen, and it should have everybody in it. But you know what? Before we just go back to that, I'm just gonna show you. I'm just gonna show you the whole thing of Brandy's.
Yes, we're just gonna look at the streaming kit, and then we will continue playing here.
You won't hear me, and you won't hear Brandy, but you'll see us because I worked hard at least on seeing that, so you could at least see it. So give me a
I'll
moment.
explain all of the slides after we see them.
So we're on the main slide.
Yes.
And I think you can hear me there. We're on the Talk alert, which I think you can hear me. Everybody can hear you.
Hi. So now that we're back, basically what you guys got to see was a few of the panels from the streaming kit. So you got to see the Slavic alert. You got to see the GM presenting the case screen. You got to see like our 2-player screen. The streaming kits come with 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, 5-player, and 6-player screens, so that it works for a multitude of uses. As well as like the BRB screen, which there's also a blank one included. So that is the BRB screen that has my credits in it, which I appreciate when people use to promote like who made the streaming kit. And then what you have also in the kit is the same one without the text in the middle, so you can add your own things on top of the video, or you can add your own elements in OBS and have like the blank background for it. And then you saw the beginning of what I like to use in my APs, end credits, where like you get like an end credit thing of like the game that I made. I put that in there. And then the last 2 that you saw where it was just me and just Glaiza are basically 2 of the, I think, 6 end credit panels that you get with the streaming kits for the game. If you buy the version of the game that has like comes with streaming kits, you get those where people can get highlighted, kind of like the end credits of a movie, with who they are, who they played. You can add that on top of the on top of text. I mean, on top of the background. And basically that's where players would give their plugs of like, hi, I've been Brandy Rose. I played Cherry, and this is where I find me. This is what I work. This is what I do. And I want that to be, it's just prettier. It's just nice. It's nice to give people the spotlight as a little thank you when they do their plugs. And I just think it looks pretty, and I think it looks cinematic. And so I like to include that in my streaming kits. And the streaming kits come in several versions. The one that we had right now is basically video image and no closed captions, green screen, because sometimes people do closed captions differently. But there is a version that is also like exactly the same moving image, but has a green screen box at the bottom for you to incorporate captions if you're using like Google Meets. Then, in case you have photosensitive issues, or you just don't want to run that, maybe your graphics card isn't enough to like support it, there's the same with and without green screen caption at the bottom version of the streaming kit that is completely still image, so it is photos in the background. It's just as pretty, it's just as cool, it's just not animated. And those are the 4 kits that come with the game when you buy it.
Yeah. And again, it is all my fault because I'm doing OBS by myself. I was so proud. I was showing off. I was like, look at this. It's awesome. But I did not do stuff that needed to be added. So we're not going to do that right now. But I do still want to go through a quick, like 30-minute short story with you, with your game, just so that we can show it off a little bit. Yeah. Charlie, you hear Charlie on the speaker, and they're saying,
Hello, Cherry.
Hello, Charlie.
Hi, Angel.
I just wanted to say that.
I have an assignment for you. It's a simple one. I just need you to go to the bank for me and get a ring out of a safety box. Bosley should be able to give you the key for it.
Oh, that's right. And then Bosley like digs in, and here's the key. You just have to. It's not under any. It's not under under any name that we know, but I just need you to get the thing that's in that box, according to Charlie.
Can you do that for me, please?
Of course. Sure. So I just need me to break into the bank. You just need me to go to the bank.
Just go into the bank and try to get whatever is in the box of that key that I gave you, or the Bosley gave you.
Okay, of course. No worries, Charlie. I am on it, and just gonna grab the key. It'll have, I assume, the box number on it, so she'll know what
Yes.
to tell the teller. She's a little confused.
Yeah.
But she's vibing.
Yeah.
She's ready. She's got her equipment with her just in case. I've decided that her cherry specialty. So when you're creating the character you're playing, you choose what their specialty is, and they get an extra dice to their dice pool when they do something within that specialty. I've decided her specialties are combat. So her specialties in combat. And you get 2 gadgets. So I'm gonna say we're going full Agent Bubblegum. She has immobilizing hairspray,
Of course.
in her purse, and a compact that is a laser.
Awesome.
Very totally spies.
Very
And,
totally spies.
Ready. We're ready to go.
Right. So, Bosley gives you the name of the bank that you have to go to, and as Bosley said, he doesn't really know who the safety deposit box belongs to, but Charlie's aware that it needs to be whatever is inside there needs to be taken. And he is relying on you to just sort of try and figure it out with the teller and what you're gonna have to do to, get that out. So, you get to the bank relatively easily, no big thing there. But this is your first roadblock, the teller. How are you going to talk to them about getting the name, or maybe?
Right. So we've used our angel arsenal, and we look stunning. We look beautiful. The hair is blown out. Have a cute outfit on. Flirty smile is ready. And I have the key. So I hope I shouldn't have any problems. So I would like to I'm just gonna stroll up with all of the confidence of Cameron Diaz.
Of course.
And put the key on the thing and be like, "Hi, good morning. I'm here to remove the contents of a safety deposit box."
Oh, of course, of course. May I just get your first and last name and the an ID, please?
Right, of course. And pulls out one of the agency issued IDs, first name redacted, last name redacted, out loud, and just says them and puts the ID down, and everything should match and be fine.
Of course, thank you.
It's really funny. I've never actually role played customer service interactions before.
It's okay. I do.
So funny.
I just went right into it because that's what I do in my day job before. I just slipped right into it. All right. I'm sorry, ma'am. The account doesn't, the number is right, but the account does not fall under that name.
No. I'm picking it up for them. I got a call this morning. They said they really wanted to take it, but they are still out of town.
Of course.
Flights from Paris are so stressful.
Oh, they're from, okay. Do you have a letter or an authorization letter maybe?
I have a letter. Let me see. I'm going to start rifling in my bag, which IRL spy tip is a great way to buy time in real life, is pretending to look for shit in your bag. The bigger, the better. I have done that many a time when I was not looking for jack shit. I was just trying to figure out what I was going to do next before I stopped. So I'm just going to rifle through my bag, buy some time. And, okay, well, I am not necessarily a hacking specialist, but I do still have training. So very quickly, in the bag, I'm going to be typing up a fake email on my phone.
Of course.
And let's see, I'm going to try my hand at coding and hopefully make something where if you look at the screen, it just lets me do what I want. And it's one of those things don't worry, I have a permit. It says I can do what I want, but with coding magic in it, where you look at it and you're just oh, this is
go ahead and roll your 4 d8s just to see how successful it is.
Come on. A 7, a 6, a 2, and a 1.
All right. According to that one, there is, what was it? 7,
6, 2, and 1.
So you have complicated. Wait, do you have a it's complicated success, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking up the thing. Where is it? Where is this? result.
So with iSpy, while you look, I'll explain. iSpy uses a pool of 4d8s. If it's your specialty, you get 5d8s. And like then there's a pool, there's a chart of like complicated success, straight, so like great critical success, fail, and basically like a failure and a crit fail. If I remember correctly. And the failures can cancel out complicated successes. If you ever get a crit success, which is if you roll an 8, if you get a crit success, that means that you get a clue. And the clues can also be like, they can be like, oh, you found a muddy shoe print, like you can analyze it, but it can also be an actual physical piece of code, because within the game book, the reason it's 46 pages long is because it has 6 pages in it that are dedicated to different codes, like Morse code, 3 levels of leet speak, etc., where you can roll. And like the GM will have the code broken, like be able to tell you, like if you rolled well enough, then you've broken the code, and the GM will tell you. But you can also take the time to real time decode it if you'd like to. The entire game book itself is also written to be a book cipher. So one of the pages, it also has an example of a book cipher, how to use it's like a page line word for each word you use in a book cipher. And it uses the game book itself as a reference. So everybody can use it. That took the longest of all the things.
It's really cool, honestly. When I was studying it, I was just like, this is amazing. Again, $25 is not a lot for this great book with complete streaming assets.
Yep, 15
and
if you want just the book.
Yes, and also, why would you want just the book? I know I didn't show it very well, but it was so good. You want the streaming assets. Also, so based on your rolls, you failed pretty badly when you showed it. However, you do get a clue. When the teller looked at it, it was like, I'm not really sure I understand what this has to do with Mr. Brandon's file, with Mr. Brandon's safety deposit.
Right.
I can't understand it.
Right, sorry. I dropped my phone outside the club a few weeks ago, and it's just like the screen has been glitching so many times, and it's just smacking it, and it's not working because I am a combat person. I am a smack them, not a talk to them. Mr. Brandon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right. So Mr. Brandon asked me to get it, and between you and me, you know, the contents are a little sensitive. I mean, sure you understand. They're grandma's like passing away, and we, you know, we kind of want to get all of her affairs in order, and some of her effects are in the box, and I don't want to have to go back to the hospice and meet Mr. Brandon there and not have the effects there for, you know, her final hours. It's getting down to the wire.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's what the email was supposed to show you. I'm so sorry. It glitched out like so weird.
Oh,
I really
of
need
course,
to get a new
of
phone.
course. I would just need to get their first and last name. I mean, you already know, of course, Mr. Brandon's last name, but I just need the first name.
Texting Bosley under the thing, like without looking, like, but under the tables, like texting Bosley, like name Mr. Brandon, because I am alone on this mission and I don't know.
Of course. But I also want you to roll again the 4d8s just to see if you can convince them that, you know, it's a very sensitive issue. And
an 8, a 5, a 3, and a 4.
All right. So 8, 5, 3, 4. Okay. So that's fine. It leans mostly to critical success, and it feels like a success. And you know,
plus critical successes can't be canceled,
of course, and there is no other way to cancel them anyway, because you didn't get a critical failure. So the teller looks really sad about what had happened with the grandma. Oh, I'm so sorry for Mr. Brandon. Let me just go ahead and get something here. If you could just later just tell me what the first and last, I'll just fill it out later for you. Okay.
I can leave my ID with you here if it works too. You know, a little insurance.
Of course, that works just fine. You just give me your ID and all that. I'll put it here, and then I'll just go ahead and step away, and then I will get one of the guards to walk with you into there. So the teller steps away, and signals to one of the guards to walk with you, and the guard that walks with you is a little bit tall, a little slender looking, and is guiding you to the safety deposit box. And you do see the guard is like, "Oh, do you know what box number you have to go to?"
Yes, I do, because it was on the key. So like, it's just gonna tell the number on the key. Like,
And then the sort of slender man walks you to the box, and I will be right outside.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, quickly, like moving to the box, like checking, making sure nobody's there. Is gonna be taking out the contents of the box very quickly. And like has purse open.
When you open it, can you roll roll 4 d8s for me, please?
7, a 4, a 6, and a 3. Oh boy. Another reason I use dice pools in this game is because I know a lot of people GM based off of vibes. So I started using the dice pool system that I used for this game when I was running Alien, the TTRPG, and I didn't know all of the mechanics because it's a giant fucking game book. So somebody asked me like, "Hey, I have this weapon. What are the stats?" I went, "I don't fucking know." So I was like, "Roll 3d6s." And based off of the vibe of how many, like how they skew, I'll tell you if anything, like if there were any ones they canceled something out in my head, and I was like, cancels out, and we played based off of those rolls.
Okay.
So that's why I use dice pool systems, because I'm just like, doesn't have to be exact. It works. Yeah. It's something that gives everybody leeway.
You are able to open the box with not much in the way of issues, but something does rip when you open it.
Oops. Okay. Oh, well, ignoring that, whatever. It's old. It's probably old. It's in a safety deposit box. It's fine.
Yeah.
They won't have to know. And I would just like to gingerly continue to open it, even though I heard the ripping sound.
Yes, you did hear the ripping sound, and the door locks
Behind me.
Yes, you are locked in this deposit
Lord
safety
Almighty.
room.
Instantly turning around, like just shoving it in my bag, zipping up the bag, which is a little reinforced little spy baggie.
Yeah.
And I zip around like in the Charlie's Angels pose, where like they turn around and they just land.
Yeah. And standing right there in front of you is the same guard, but he doesn't look the same anymore. It looks like he's wiped his face a little bit, and you know this very well from your studies and from the messages that Dylan has given about what he looks like and all that. You know this to be that thin man that they've been talking about. And talking about all this time. And then he says, "What are you doing here?"
You. Dylan told me about you.
So you're an angel.
Shit, maybe.
Oh, quite interesting. I haven't worked with an angel. Well, worked is a word. I haven't fought an angel in a while, mostly because they thought I've been dead for a while. But can never
I'll
really.
Make sure to rectify that on your file when I go back to the agency.
When? Don't you mean to say if?
No, I meant when.
Okay. There's gonna be a combat. We're gonna both roll the
get the shit beaten out of me. I tell you right now.
Well, you have a plus on combat.
Shit beat out of me. Yeah.
But the Thin Man is pretty well known, as you know. So I'm gonna give him a little bit of a specialty as well.
So much. I love this. It's great.
Oh no, I dropped
close to being a Charlie's Angels I've ever gotten.
Oh my god. Well, I'll find it. It's fine.
Channel combat. Okay.
So you have your +1.
Yeah, so I have 5 d8s this time.
All right. And I am going to get my own d8s. So, you go ahead and roll yours, and then I'll roll mine, and we'll
role play. We'll
cinematically play this.
All right. Oh God. 7 7 5 4 1.
7 7, 5, 4, 1. So one of those will cancel.
One of those
out
gets
your
canceled,
5.
but three should be okay.
So you got 2 7s, 2 critical success, a 4, which is a failure, but still mostly success. And then let's see what my little dude got. Little dude. All right, so that's
man.
2 7s, a 5, a 3, and a 2. So I think it's sort of a tie, isn't it?
It is. That's so cool. I think
a tie.
Cherry would strike first. No longer waiting. Combat is their specialty.
Of course.
And you just, the cute outfit is suddenly, it's movie magicked into the black like angel catsuit thing. Well, not even catsuit. They were like black like tank tops and black like low rise pants somehow that they fight in, even though they're tight as sin, and like their little platformy boots. I may be dressed like an angel on purpose all the time in real life. Who knows? Nobody has to know. It's just tech wear. It's fine. It's fashion. And just like immediately like that like angel kick straight up. But I think you would probably
he's able to block it really well just because this isn't the first time he's fought an angel, and you are quite new at the angel fighting business. So he's able to block it and sort of roll away and give a punch toward you, but you're able to block it quite easily. And he says, since you do have critical success with 2 of them, you are able to learn a little something. And he says, how are you able to how were you able to find this box? Sort of like while he's fighting. Oh.
Right. So I kicked, it got caught, pulled my foot back, like I got punched, I dodged.
And then he's like,
we're matching combat.
You're basically matching combat back and forth. And he's like,
talking.
What are you doing here?
And I've heard some mixed things about this man, because I do hear from Dylan, from my angel mentor Dylan, I have heard God bless Drew Barrymore. I have heard, I love you very much, Drew. I love you.
If you're here, Drew, if for whatever reason you suddenly find this, we love you.
I will run this game for you. I will run in its entirety. Probably, like, I will run the whole 2-hour game for you. Anyway, so we're matching combat, and I go, Charlie told me to go. I had the key. I was just picking it up. It's basically an errand. And like turns around and is like, spinny kicking and
right.
And the compel.
And he smiles.
People don't usually smile when they're fighting me.
Yeah.
Like, another kick.
And he's matching you really well. But he's smiling and he says, "Oh, the old man is getting close." And then let's roll another set of combat.
Yep. 1 8 6 3 5.
I'm gonna write yours. 1 8 6 3 5. He got 2 7s, a 6, and 2 3s. So he got failures, but he got mostly success. You got, is it another equal situation? No, you got 1 critical fail. So, okay.
My favorite thing about iSpy is that there's no damage mechanic. You just role play through the consequences of your actions. Hi, Dolly. Sorry, my cat. One of my cats passed by.
So what's going to happen now is he's going to sweep the leg and try to get you on your back. And because of
have a crit fail.
Because of that, because you were distracted by the smile. And Dylan is right. He is a quite handsome man. Because of the smile, you got distracted and he put you down on your back.
My mentor and I are very similar.
Yes.
Sucks.
And instead of going for you, though, instead of getting ready to punch you or whatever, doing whatever, he grabs your purse that has the contents that has the contents of it, and he's now getting ready to leave the room.
Ooh, it's my King of the Hill moment.
What
I don't know you. That's my purse. Kick.
Go ahead and roll that. He is not going to fight back because he's trying to escape. That's not that. I don't know you. That's my purse.
7, 4, 6, 5, 6.
Oh,
Successes across the board.
No,
Oh, I kick him straight between the legs.
You do kick him and he does fall, and it's comical because the purse flies, and this is like, you are very protective of your purse. You had training. This is your purse. Nobody touches your purse.
At the Y, I took women's self-defense.
You took women's self-defense at the
Bobby
Y,
Hill.
And you were like, this is my purse. Please do not touch I don't know you. So what do you do next?
Liv's gonna kill me. For having done this in one shot. I grab my purse. And well, the door was locked, right? He locked it.
He just locked it, like with the lock, you know.
Oh,
like,
with the normal lock. Okay. You know, I'm yanking the door handle like open to undo the lock, and just gonna run out and start just hightailing it out.
Right. And you do hear him. You do hear him shout, "Thief! Somebody's robbing! Somebody's robbing us!"
I should have said something more.
Somebody's robbing us, and then he's just getting up and he's just like, she's robbing us. She's not supposed to be here. And you know he's dressed as a guard, and people are gonna believe me.
I was about to say, he doesn't even work here.
He's dressed as a guard. What are you gonna do next?
Parkour. Okay.
Parkour.
No, it's I duck into a bathroom.
Okay.
I duck into a bathroom, and you know, typically there's like a small little window.
Right.
And you know, bathroom locking, it gives me a moment maybe. And okay. I have the Charlie's Angels communicator molars because I always told people like communication shit that just comes with it because you need it. So I got a little molar. I'm like, Bosley,
what's up? What's up?
Creepy thin man. I'm in the bank. He's saying that I robbed
Thin man?
Yes, the creepy thin man. You know, Dylan's, creepy thin man.
But he's dead.
Well, he's not dead. He doesn't feel very dead to me. He doesn't sound very
sure?
dead either. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. He was here and he was trying to intercept me. And now I have to get out of this bank really, really quickly. So I need you to tell me. I need you to page me the best route out of here because he's saying that I'm robbing the bank.
Okay. I'm going to be there real soon with the car, whatever. But just pin me where you are right now on your compact thing.
Right. I've pinged it on the compact and I'm, jimmying the window open.
Okay.
I'm trying to open the window.
And then I'm just going to roll something here. Oh, that's success. Okay. That's complicated success, whatever. It just success. You do get a message saying, okay, I'm really nearby. All you need to do is get out of that window and run to the next block and you'll be able to see the car that I dropped you in and we'll be able to get out of here.
All right. So, got my little communication thing. I see the ping of like where he is. I'm like, okay, on it. And I put it in there and I have the like bag secure to my purse. Okay. And I'm just, if I can't open the window, I'm going to try to break it. So I guess I'll just probably roll to see if I can open the window.
Yeah. Let's see how it works.
I cannot open the window. I tell you that right now. 5, 5, 1, 2, 3.
You cannot open the window and you are hearing people banging through the thing and you can definitely hear him. I saw her go here and we need to break that door down because
so annoying.
She totally stole that from Mr. Brandon, and he's pretending he's not Mr. Brandon. What are you gonna do next?
I'm gonna use my platform boot and break the window and hopefully not break my foot.
Okay, let's see go ahead and roll it. Go ahead and add combat because it is force.
Right. 8, 8, 7, 2, 3. So
yeah, you break it because it feels more success than anything. So you do break the window. There are instead of a clean going through, you are cut up a little bit.
Yeah.
But you're able to successfully run, and as you break through, you do see the thin man sort of like lifting up the thing, and just you can see he stops following you, but he is staring at you as you're running away.
Yeah, like I'm running away, but I look over my shoulder and I see it, and I'm just like, he's weirdly attractive. He's weirdly attractive.
Maybe he gives you a wink. I don't know. Maybe not.
He's so weirdly. He's so attractive. Why is he so attractive? What is this? Bosley can hear me.
Yes.
What
are you talking about? Who's attractive?
Huh? You are, Bosley.
Of course I am.
Come on. Where's the ride? And I'm running.
The ride is there. You are able to see it, and
jumping into the back seat.
Bosley drives away quickly and looks at you. Were you able to get it?
Yeah, I got it. And I fished the box out of my purse and I, hold it up. I ripped something, but it's fine.
Okay. And you do open it, and gas leaks into the car.
Oh.
And
I have made an error.
Gas leaks into the car, and that is where we'll end this little quick one shot. It should have been longer, but I booed up. So cool. But this is where we'll end this little quick one shot. And you know what? We're gonna play it again, with the proper stuff, and you're gonna have more teammates, and it's gonna be fun because I have enjoyed myself with, with this game and
this storyline.
You know how it ends. It ends with smoke coming out of the box, filling the car, and Bosley going, "What the heck?" And that is where we'll end. You know what? We are almost done with the show. I am so glad to have had you here on my show. Thank you so much. Barring all of the technical difficulties, I'm so very thankful to have you here. You are one of my bestest friends, and I am so glad that we entered TTRPG space together and that we're both doing our thing, and I'm so happy to have you as a friend. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you, what else that you're doing, and what else, anything that you want to say to the people watching and to the VODs as well.
Right. So hi everybody. I am Brandy Rose. I'm at the Brandy Rose on Twitter. I'm at Brandy Rose Official on Instagram, and on Twitch and TikTok, I'm at Cutest Patoot. On Twitch, I do a lot of streams where I teach people the ins and outs of producing APs, of designing games, of designing assets, streaming kits, game books, etc. All of the things that I do, I show you how to do them. And in that vein, I have a new talk show coming out in a month called Roll With It that is designed in collaboration with the Roll app, where we basically, it's a talk show. It's one of my many talk shows where I interview game designers, and then together we design a game in less than 10 minutes, and then we play it live on stream, live in the recording. Very, very excited for that to come out. But other than that, I'm also the head of the Patoot Podcast Network. I'm the head producer and host of the Patoot Podcast Network. We have 10 shows roughly under our belt right now. Half are currently in, half, I'd say like 3 or 4 are currently in development. And the rest are already out and on hiatus, and their new seasons pick up this summer. I'm currently in the middle of recording all of them. It is a doozy, recording 20 weeks worth of shows in 3 months for 4 different shows, but I'm very, very excited for you guys to hear them. So make sure to follow at Podcasts on Twitter as well. You recognize us by our pink raccoon logo. But apart from that, I work as a producer, as a creative director, as well as a narrative designer. I also write for games. I have my own games that are under cutestpatoot.itch.io, but I've also written for Queers, for Son of Oak Game Studios, and for Chew, which is coming out soon, which I'm very excited about. If you want to hire me for my services, if you want to buy my games, you can stop by my Twitter and hit my DMs. You can email me at contactthebrandyrose at gmail.com. I do produce for hire as well. And I do also do consulting work. If you'd like to learn more about game design, if you'd like to learn more about, if you'd like to have me look over your game and give you pointers, etc. I've done that before. This morning I had a meeting helping somebody with actual play production. And I'm always happy to actually produce actual plays for people. I have many written up, many one shots written, and I GM for hire. So you should check me out on the startplaying.games /GM/the Brandy Rose. But apart from that, you can always find my stuff on Twitter. I never shut up. I'm always there. And I love doing all of these things. I'd like to continue doing them forever. So yeah, that's me. That's all my stuff. And you might even hear me at some point because I also am a voice actor and I'm signed with the Jackson Voiceover Agency. And occasionally you can hear me on audiobooks or hopefully soon also some anime. I've read for some anime before, so it's not out of the question. It's actually really funny because Moriarty the Patriot just came out with a second season in dub. And I read for that a few months ago. I didn't get it, obviously, but like it's cool. It's fun.
It's cool.
It's a cute little nostalgic thing to see and be like, I remember reading for that. That's cool. So yeah, that's me. I'm happy and grateful for everybody's support. And I'm really, really excited for people to play iSpy because it means so much to me. And there's so many ways to run the game and there's so many ways to play it. And I'm very excited.
And again, iSpy is on sale on cutestpatoot.io, which I have linked in the chat. And also you can commission Brandy for like all of the streaming kits and use them properly. Comparative to what I did today, but it's fine. All of it is on their coffee.com, Cutest Patoot. And again, you can find them on Twitter. As for me, I am Glaiza, and you can find me everywhere you find Classical Glaiza, except on Instagram. Don't look for me on Instagram. I don't use Instagram. But I'm on Twitch, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, and I am very much a person of many hats. I am a podcast host, I am a writer, I am a TTRPG performer, I am a streamer, and actually later this evening, I will be on TTRPGs for a mask one-shot called Homecoming Heroes. So I'll see you guys then. And again, thanks for watching us and thanks for supporting Trial Run. Hopefully I'll see you next month. And have a great rest of your day, y'all.